Module 1 Video 2 Interface Overview. What you will learn in this video is how to use a Pixlr interface and some basic overview over the top menu, left menu, and the right menu. So let's go back to the Pixlr and click the Pixel editor. We're going to create that document and I'm going to walk you through the interface. So let's create a new image. Just click the first one and the default preset. Just click OK. And you will see at the top there's a menu at the top with different functionalities, and the left that's basically a tool menu, and on the right there are a couple of windows. So let me start with the top menu. You can see it works like a typical program. You can click it and it goes with more options. First is the file. So here you can create a new image. So as we did before, we can open an image from your desktop, from your URL, or from the library. You can also save an image, print or close, and do some different things. The added one is undo and redo. That's basically if you want to go back with one action back or one action forward, if you want to remove some effect you just did. We can also cut, copy, clear, and paste, and there are some keyboard shortcuts you can use. There's also some free transform option that's basically will allow you to scale the image, rotate, and things like that, and the free distort function that will allow you to do some more cool stuff in order to modify and manipulate the image. You can also select the whole image, deselect, and things like that. Let's go to the next one. Here we can change the image size and canvas size. So if you want to make this image smaller, we can do that here. We can rotate the canvas, so we can rotate the whole project, whole composition, and we can also flip canvas vertically or horizontally. And also crop. And crop is basically if you want to select a specific part of an image and you can crop just this specific part. The next one's layer. In the layers, we can create a new layer, duplicate or delete, and I have a separate video that will go in more detail about the layers. But here you can see all the options available. Next one is adjustments. Again, I have additional video that goes through all the adjustments, but these are basically the tools that will allow you to change the colors or contrast and different elements in the image. It's used very often for the photography. Next one is filter. Okay, so the filter one has really cool effects, and these could be used, for example, to blur the image, sharpen, add the noise, pixelize, and so forth. And again, in the next videos, I'm going to go more in detail about these functions. The next one is view. You can zoom in or zoom out the project. You can also basically when you click the navigator, it will pull up the navigator window, and you can also open the other windows or just close them. Let's see, two options. Okay, so right now I have all the windows opened. You can also change the language, so you can change the language. And also there's a help option with FAQ. If you're looking for more information, it's definitely worth to check it out. And then you can see here, this is a panel that will be associated with the tool that is activated right now. So right now I have a crop tool activated, and you can see we have a couple of options to choose from. If I choose the move tool, you can see this changes. You can see anytime I change the tool, this panel would change. So you can actually modify and change the tool functionalities. Okay, so let's move to the menu on the left. That's a tools menu. You can see there are all the tools. It's very similar to Photoshop. So if you know Photoshop, you'll be quite familiar with the way it works. So here we can select the tool by just clicking the left mouse, and there are different tools to choose from. And I'm going to go in more detail about some of these tools in the next videos. But you can see one of the main ones is first is the move tool, and that's basically will allow you to move the layer. Then there's a select tool to select different elements of the tool, and then there's a brush tool to make cool brushes. There's also the paint bucket tool to actually paint the composition, and also eraser tool. That's basically an eraser to erase the elements. We have also the drawing tool to draw the rectangles and so on. We have also the blur tool, sharpen tool to make some elements of an image blurred or sharpened if you want so. Smudge and sponge, so these are similar. and also burn tool and dodge tool. That will allow you to change the colors of an image. So a specific part you can just mouse over. It's similar to the brush tool, but this will actually change the colors to make them more saturated or less. Then we have a red eye reduction tool and the spot heal tool. And so the red eye is basically to remove the red eye from the photos, and the spot healing tool can be used if you want to remove some parts of an image, but still with remaining background. That will be the best to actually show to show it in action, to show you how it works. There are also some more modification transformation tools. The pinch tool and blow tool, you can see with the arrows basically make the image bigger in a specific way, and this one make pinch, so it pinches the image in these areas. There's also a color picker tool that will basically pick the color that's in your image. Text tool, and I have a separate video how to use the text tool. We also have a hand tool that will allow you to actually move in the composition. So if the composition is small, like this one, you can see we can move it right here, or we can choose the hand tool and we can move it by just pressing the left mouse key and just moving. So that's also a very handy tool. And the last one is the zoom tool, so you can zoom it out, or if you double click it goes to 100%. Here we can select the color. So that's the once you click it, you're going to see this color wheel. We can change the colors by going through this wheel, and also change the color tones by making darker or lighter or less saturated, more saturated. You can see this. Here's the active color. So you can move it around. There are also different options to choose from. I like to use HSL thing at the top because I like to see the wheel and the colors and how they change. You can also change the colors like this, and it's really the same way as using this panel. Once you select the color, just click OK, and we have the color right here. We can also, you can see, move these colors. Okay, so for example, we can save these colors. Alright, so we can move these colors around and save them for later use. So it's also very useful. On the right, you can see there are different windows. So here first is the navigator. This is kind of like a small miniature of the whole image. I don't really use it that much, but it may be useful in some cases. The next one is the layers window. I would make it bigger. So as you can see, you can move these around by drag and drop. I would make it bigger by just going here and pulling it down. Why? Because the layers window is very important. Basically, each of your graphical elements will be a separate layer. So you're going to play with layers a lot, and I have a separate video that will show you how to use the layers. But for now on, just make sure that it's big, because you're going to use it very often. And the last window is a history window. You can see we can basically go back and forth in actions in the history. So if you didn't like some effect, you can go back a few actions back to go back to how your image looked like before. You can also move forward, so definitely very useful, and I always have the history window activated. So the last window is the actual our project window. You can see we can make it bigger or smaller by clicking this icon, or we can also close it. And here you can see the percentage, zoom percentage, and the actual pixel size. We can also change the size of this project by just moving it right around. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's the interface. I would advise you to just go forth, just look through all the filters, see how they look, how they work, go through the tools and use some, because that's how you're going to learn the most. And also play around the windows on the right and the layers. It's also very useful to learn by just testing and experimenting. In the next videos, you're going to learn more about the adjustment filter tools and all these tools right here and all these windows in more detail. This video was just to give you an overview, give you the basics and the fundamentals of the Pixlr and how it all comes together. And in the next videos, we're going to go in more detail. Let's recap this video. In this video, you learned how to use a Pixlr interface, and you got some overview about the top menu, left menu, and the right menu.